Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Rattens here, host of the Raiders Report, and coming up on today's show, we're going to look at both of the NFL games going down today. AFC and NFC Championship preview. I'm going to tell you who I want to win both of those games. Also, the main reason why you should be watching today. Well, two main reasons. One, I'm going to be live today on the Raiders Report for both of these games, so make sure you're subscribed. Make sure those notifications are turned on. The other reason why I really want a lot of Raider fans to watch both of these football games today is because there's a lot of coaches that the Raiders are interested in, and I want to let you know which coaches I'm going to be watching the closest. On top of that, I might be able to put a little bit of money in your pocket with our good friend Prize Picks. But I'll tell you about Prize Picks here in just a little bit. Let's talk about the first game going down today. It's the New England Patriots on the road against the Denver Broncos. I'll tell you right now, I hate the fact, hate it, that this is what this game is. But you know what? I am going to sit up here, and I'm going to tell you that, yeah, I am going to pick one of these teams to win today. Yeah, I am telling you, I'm going to be live today. I'm going to be rooting for one of these teams today. But before I tell you who I'm going with, I want to know from all of y'all, who do you got? Are you going to go with the Denver Broncos, or are you going to go with the New England Patriots? Give me a DEN for Broncos. Give me an NE for New England. To anybody out there, my answer is going to be the New England Patriots, simply because I feel like I got to pick the lesser of the two evils. It almost reminds me a few years ago, which I hated that Super Bowl, but it's the truth. It was the 49ers up against the Chiefs. I rooted for the Niners because there's no way in hell I was going to root for Kansas City. And you know what? There's no way in hell I'm going to root for the Denver Broncos. Can't do it, won't do it, not going to do it. Give me the New England Patriots. Now, what's really important here for fans is there's certain coaches that y'all need to be paying attention to. Let's first talk about Broncos quarterback coach and the real reason why we're watching today's show, Davis Webb. Played quarterback in the NFL from 2017 to 2022. He interviewed with the Las Vegas Raiders on Wednesday, January 7th, and truth be told, was actually the first interview of the Silver and Black. It's also my mom's birthday, if anybody cares. Broncos quarterback coach, though, in 2023 to 2024, quarterback coach, pass game coordinator in 2025. I have not been afraid to say things up here like, I don't think Bo Nix is all that good of a quarterback. Though I did say that if you put Bo with Sean Payton, it's going to be the best thing for Mr. Nix. Well, here's what I'm really interested in. If Davis Webb has made Bo Nix look the way that he's done, if Davis Webb ends up helping making Jarrett Stidham go out there and look really good, if you're the Raiders, you have to be able to sit back and go, Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham, and very high-level football games underneath Sean Payton. Sounds like an extremely interesting coach to look at. One coach that, not going to lie to you, I have no interest in at all, but the Raiders did request to interview him Thursday, January 8th. This was not an in-person interview, but he also interviewed with the Raiders last season. I really think that that's more just to do with the fact that Mark Davis has always appreciated AFC West experience. Personally, based on some of the people that we talked to here at Chat Sports, I think that Joseph is going to get the Cardinals job. Who knows? Maybe he gets another job. I mean, there's certain jobs that, let's face it, there's not a lot of interest around the NFL, and I think Arizona and Cleveland are the top two jobs where people are sitting there going, do you want it? Do you want that job? And I think if you're Joseph, you might have to take a job if one is presented to you. Now, we're going to talk about this other game here in just a moment, but I do want to show you my Prize Picks lineup today because today's show is sponsored by them. I'm going with Jarrett Stidham less than 32.5 passing attempts. I would be shocked if Denver allowed him to throw the football more than 32.5 times. Like, it doesn't make sense. You're on the road, or you're at home. You're going up against a good defense. Run the freaking rock. Play controlled football. On the other side of it, for New England, I'm going to take them more on the kicking points from their kicker, who I always call him Bojangles, because ever since my dad said it, I can't get it out of my mind. Give me 7.5. Give me the more on that one. Drake May, give me the more on that demon pick there, 1.5 passing touchdowns. And then Kayshon Boutte. I had a lot of fun rooting for Boutte. I'm a Boutte man, and I'm going to keep on going with the more on that Boutte man. But hey, man, if you're having a good time getting started on Prize Picks, then I know that you're a real one, because if you plan on watching any of these matchups, there's one place to go, and it's Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app out there. The winner of both of the games today, they're going to be playing in the big game, and it's almost here. There's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner, that also means it's your last chance to get into the football action before next season. So close the season out right with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. So y'all join millions of users. Give me a follow at MitchellRents365 on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Make sure that you use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. You know what? Let's talk about my other lineup here before we get into the matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. Truth be told, I'm a lot more excited for this game than I am the other game. And in this one, all eyes, as a Raiders fan, this is the game where you really, really need to be paying attention to. And I'll talk about those coaches here in a moment. But Matthew Stafford, give me the less on 63.9% completion percentage. Interesting rivalry game, NFC West. 5 straight games for Stafford, less than 63.9. Cooper Kupp, 2 catches. Yeah, we're going to go with that. Matthew Stafford, 0.5 rush yards. Rush attempts. So if he kneels one down in a win, that's a rush attempt. Or if he's buying a little time, maybe they're down, that's a rush attempt. Kenneth Walker, give me the more on that fantasy score. No Zach Charbonnet with that ACL injury. And then punts. Less than 3.5 punts. I think that there's going to be a lot more scoring. I think you're going to see a lot more drives in this game. So because of that, this is my lineup. It is a power play. 5 to pay, $32.50. So let's now go to this NFC Championship game. NFC West rivalry game. These teams have played each other twice. The last time that they played, Seattle's a hell of a football team, man. And this is going to be a really hard-nosed game. And the reason why I think, honestly, I'm the most excited to watch this game is because if you're the Raiders, you're sitting there going, what path do I want to take? Do I want to go the Klint Kubiak, Seattle offensive path? Or do I want to go maybe with the Mike LaFleur, Sean McVay, Nate Scheelhaase path with the Los Angeles Rams? No matter what path you're going to take, I'm going to walk you down this path because I got to know, who do you got? Give me Seattle. Give me the Rams. I want to know who you're going for in this football game. It's what we do here on the Raiders Report. I get it. The Raiders aren't in the AFC or NFC Championship game. Though, the way that it seemed this year, I feel like we had a better chance getting in the NFC Championship than the AFC Championship. But my answer is going to be the Seattle Seahawks. I don't think it surprised anybody. I'm not necessarily rooting against Los Angeles. If anything, I hope that both offenses look unbelievable. I hope that both teams are really slinging the rock. And I say that because of the offensive coaches that the Raiders have submitted interview requests for their next head coaching gig. First name I'm going to bring up here is Nate Scheelhaase, pass game coordinator of the Los Angeles Rams. He's been underneath Sean McVay the past 2 seasons. He worked underneath Matt Campbell, who is now the head coach of Penn State over there at Iowa State from 2018-2023. Did a lot of good things, like with the guy by the name of Brock Purdy. Also, he interviewed with the Raiders Friday, January 16th. Nate Scheelhaase, to me, is probably a little bit more of a offensive coordinator job, though I do wonder if the Raiders were to hire Mike LaFleur. It's coming from me. I'm just being honest with you. If I was Nate Scheelhaase, I go, Mike LaFleur went to the Raiders to be the head coach. Would I want to be the OC of the Raiders or the OC of the Rams? I'd probably rather be OC of the Rams. Learn underneath Sean McVay and then get my shot to go. But let's talk about LaFleur because there's been a lot of smoke around him right now, most recently from Josina Anderson. And if you didn't see the video that I put out on Thursday, January 22nd, it's definitely one that you need to go check out. He's been the Rams OC since 2023, had an opportunity with the Jets, but that Jets opportunity was quickly short-lived, and I think it's because it was a part of the New York Jets. He's 38 years old, has been coaching in college football and in the NFL since 2009, and he also interviewed with the Raiders on Friday, January 16th. When it comes to LaFleur, the number one thing that scares me is he doesn't call plays. So the fact that he doesn't call plays, and then you're going to name him the head coach, who knows? Maybe he brings in an OC that does call plays, but I would imagine offensive-minded head coach would want to call plays. The number one person, though, that all Raider fans are going to be paying attention to in this NFC Championship game, it's going to be Klint Kubiak. Current offensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks, was the Saints OC last year, Vikings OC in 2021. The offenses that Klint has been able to establish with quarterbacks, it's phenomenal. And I really do think the perfect OC for what we have, or perfect head coach, for what we have and what we're going to get in Mendoza, it's the Klint Kubiak offense. Son of former Super Bowl winning coach Gary Kubiak. He's got Shanahan ties, and then he interviewed with the Raiders on Friday, January 9th. So in their first round of interviews, Davis Webb was first. Then it was a little bit of a mix-up. I think it was Vance Joseph, Matt Nagy, Kevin Stefanski. It was those three names on Thursday. I don't remember the exact order. And then Friday, by himself, Klint Kubiak. The Raiders are interested in an offensive-minded coach. So out of the 5 coaches that the Raiders have requested to interview, here's how I would rank them for Raiders fans out there. I'm going to be real. There is a massive, and I mean massive, gap between 3 and 4. Kubiak, to me, is number 1. Then there's a little bit of a gap here. Davis Webb and Matt LaFleur are 2A, 2B, if I'm being real with you. They're right there. Gigantic gap with Nate Scheelhaase. And honestly, this gap should be so big that Vance Joseph isn't even on this screen. If you bleed silver and black, I know the Raiders do not play today, but you are foolish to not turn both of these games on and watch our potential head coach. Because I do really, really think the next Raiders head coach is playing today, and he's up here on screen. So lock the F in. Tune into the Raiders Report later on. I'm going to be live for both of the AFC and the NFC Championship game. If you're a real one, show up and bang.